I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, God. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Sorry about being a little late. It seems like for the last couple of weeks, every time I'm about 5 minutes from going live, I get a phone call from someone, and they just go and go and go, and I always like talking to people, but, dude, everybody knows when I go live, don't... Unless something really, really, really crazy is going on, like actual breaking news that needs to be talked about right now, do me a favor and maybe try to hold all calls past like 8:30. That would be fantastic. Good Lord. I love getting phone calls from everybody, but Jesus, we got a show to do. And so I'm sorry for being late, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a day. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025. And I was on, the person who called was telling me about some things that I have reported on here in the last little bit. And they were giving me some more information. And I don't know if that person is listening. But if you are listening, I'm not specifically bitching at you, and I appreciate your phone call and I appreciate your information. I just know that here, it just seems like here lately, maybe since Christmas, I've been getting a lot of phone calls right as I've been going live, and I love the information, but you know, this is a live show, ladies and gentlemen. My boss texted me, send me one of your funny jokes. I replied, I'm working at the moment, sir. I will send you one later. He replied, that was fantastic. Send me another one. Hey-o! All right. Right when I was starting to decide if I was in a bad mood or not, Joe comes in and saves the day, and now I'm back to normal. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 369th episode of the Political Spotlight. And let me tell you, I've been in a bad mood basically all day. I'm sick. I've got this congestion thing going on. I've got all this mucus. I've got this throat thing. I'm like in day number 3 of these K-Flex pills, which are just tearing my stomach up because that's what antibiotics do. So I've just got all kinds of chaos going on. And then on top of that, you throw into the mix the political bullshit. And it's like, look where we are with everything. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for being a little late to the game. I want to make sure here that we get everybody aware that's supposed to be aware. Let me make sure that we've got everything shared here like we need. Okay, it looks like that's good. Just one more moment here, folks, and we will be ready. Hey, while I'm doing this, go ahead and hit the thumb. I know I've been bitching, and you're like, I'm not really sure if I like this. Hit the thumb, give us a like, and if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscription. I also want to tell everybody this. I've had two people. Catherine asked us the other day when the show ended, and my grandparents asked, "How do we hit the bell?" You only hit the bell once. If you're like me, if you're like Catherine, if you're like my grandparents, and you're not very technologically savvy, you only hit the bell right when you hit the subscription. And if you have subscribed but you don't get notified when we go live, you might want to go in there and click that subscription section again. And that way you can change. If you select the bell on all, you will be notified when we go live, when we drop short content and shorts and other videos. So you might want to do that. So please consider doing that. Communicate with us. If you're here live, chat over here on the right-hand side. If you're here in the future, if you're watching this on replay, repeat, comment down below. And if you want to check us out in the social media world, you can do that by connecting with us on all of our social medias. Of course, we're coming to you live on YouTube and Rumble. We're also live on Facebook. We're live on 2 different Facebook channels. My Kristopher H. Bilbrey page, which is also just the podcast page, and the Political Spotlights page, which is just Political Spotlight on Facebook. I hate it, I know, but it is what it is. We're also on X, so check us out all there. And then share the show with everyone you know. That's one of the biggest ways to help spread the word. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. You know it. I don't even make minimum wage for this of what we get. You know, and I'm sick of this transparency shit. All this bitching and moaning everybody does makes me want to bitch and piss and moan. That sounds just like James King. I'm glad you said that. That also cheered me up. Well, thank you very much. I can always count on you guys to lighten the load and make everything better. So thank you all for everything that you do. Hey, today, ladies and gentlemen, was a big day in the state of Indiana. We swore at 3 different individuals. We swore in our 44th Attorney General of the state of Indiana, Todd Rokita. Some love him, some hate him. He is who he is. The 44th Attorney General of the state of Indiana, Todd Rokita. We also swore in the 53rd Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana. And again, some love him, some hate him. That's Mr. Micah Beckwith. And I can't say his name without that song. I cannot say his name without that song now. Anyways,
well, now you've mentioned it, so now you have to play it.
I think the author and the performer would probably kill us.
I'm going to ask him.
You know the answer to that. Are you kidding me? And then the 52nd governor of the state of Indiana would be obviously Mike Braun. And so we swore all those people in today. It was absolutely you said I want to play it. I don't want to play it. I love it. That's amazing. For anybody that did not see the inauguration today, we have it live here on the program. Listen, it's not really worth going back. I mean, we're not going to waste time playing it here. If you want to watch it, you can go watch it live on the feed. The feed was very janky. I've got to say this. I was very disappointed. I would say they've spent, I would hate to think of the amount of money they spent on this inauguration. They dropped a pretty penny on this thing. And there were events all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today. And they posted and talked about this everywhere. However, they made almost no notice of where anybody could watch this live streamed from. They didn't tell Hoosiers where the regular peons could watch this being live streamed. Now, about a month ago, I got a notice that asked if we wanted to be considered for a media pass to any of these events, and I said, well, certainly. And I put in for it. We got the package. We got media pass for all of the events. And then I was like, I don't care about any of these people. I'm not going to any of this. I'll watch it from the live stream, and we'll live stream it off their live stream. And then I couldn't find any of that information anywhere. Oh yeah, Clinton, you would be, listen, they had an open bar at the gala last night, Saturday night. They had an open bar. I mean, like, you know, when you go to a wedding and the bride and the groom, normally the bride's family's paying for it, and they've got either a cash bar or an open bar. They had an open bar. So the drinks, the alcohol and whatnot was on them. And so I don't know. I need to look into what the deal was. Is this taxpayer money? Is this campaign money? What, you know, who's footing the bill for this? So I will look into that. I should have done that before I started talking about this tonight, but it is what it is. Somebody spent a large amount of money on this. But I'll be honest, we've got a lot of time to focus on what Braun does, what Beckwith does. And, you know, we'll be doing that over the course of the next several days, weeks, months, and at least for the next 4 years. But that's not what got me today. What got me today was I tuned into, now listen, and this is, I considered whether or not I was going to talk about, I've thought about this all day long. I've thought about what to do because I'm getting ready to talk about something that is really going to put me at odds with a lot of people. It's going to make me the black sheep of, I guess, what I would consider Indiana conservative, libertarian, conservative, political pundits, political commentators, because I'm going to be questioning something that I just don't think a lot of other people question. And people are going to be saying that, oh, it's just because Bilbrey's jealous. No, I want you to listen to exactly what the question is. No, I'm not jealous. I am disappointed. I am pissed off. I think it's gross. And I think that other people, yes, I'll be the black sheep of the black sheeps, which, listen, is not a problem for me. It's not a problem for me. Set up a GoFundMe for a haircut. It's not a problem for me to feel that way. I don't care. I don't care if people like it or not. It's just, it's risky because this is a program that obviously, like all other programs, we want to try to pull people in. And so you piss people off and they don't listen. It, could be counterproductive. But I've got to be honest to myself. And I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with what I feel should or should not be happening with those of us that do this. And listen, here's the thing. I've never liked the idea of the Reagan 11th commandment. I've never liked that whole principle. Thou shalt not speak ill of fellow Republicans, or if you put it over onto the Democrats, thou shalt not speak ill of fellow Democrats. I don't believe in that, okay? It's the same principle of saying, well, I'm a police officer, but I'm not going to call out bad police officers. If there's a police officer over here that's violating people's constitutional rights and busting their heads open when they're handcuffed, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. To hell with that. No, that makes you as bad as that officer. That makes you as bad as the bad guys, or worse than the bad guys. It makes you worse than the bad guys because you're supposed to be standing up against that. And if you see that, that's a problem. It's just like preachers and priests and Boy Scout leaders and anyone and everyone else that's involved in pedophilia and any kind of sexual crime or any type of crime, specifically in industries or when there's in groups of people. If there are good people that are not saying things when they see things wrong in their own groups, that is a problem. And so one of the things I have griped about for such a long time are all of the Republicans that won't call out other bad Republicans, or Democrats that won't call out bad Democrats, libertarians that won't call out, on and on and on and on and on. The elected officials that protect their own over doing what's right for the citizens. That kind of thing is wrong. And if I was doing something wrong, I would hope that Brandon would call me out, or that Kate would call me out, or that someone else out here doing this would say, hey, wait a minute, as I would call anyone else out that would be doing that. So it's no secret. All right. In the state of Indiana, we've got obviously the capital, Indianapolis, and probably it's one of the largest radio programs, one of the largest radio stations for political talk radio, conservative commentary, is obviously 93.1 WIBC. And I have been on good, friendly terms with a lot of the different personalities at 93.1 WIBC for quite some time. I've appeared on Tony Katz's show. I've appeared on various different iterations of Rob Kendall's show when Rob was with the other chick from the Chicks on the Right, and then with Casey and Hammer and Nigel. I've been friendly with these folks, connected with these folks, and have agreed with them. Now, there's been times that we've disagreed and fought back and forth on this and on that, and that's what you're supposed to do. Now, it's been very clear during this entire last year that I have not seen basically eye to eye with Kendall and Casey on what has been going on with their pick of supporting Braun and Beckwith. Okay. And it's not because Kendall, and really I'll put Kendall in it. Okay. Rob Kendall. I haven't really put Casey in this category, but it's not because Kendall has picked Braun and or Beckwith. It's all of the other things that come along with it. It's we support Braun and Beckwith now, so now we have to kiss the ass of J.D. Prescott. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I'm friends with Beckwith, who respects J.D. Prescott as a church friend, and so because of that, I now will look past everything I've ever said about J.D. Prescott. I won't look at his nonsensical waste of time bullshit bills like he's trying to name Indiana the Hoosier State officially. You know, who's that helping in his district? What citizen is he helping with that bill? Okay. J.D. Prescott is a do-nothing. Matter of fact, Rob Kendall, for a very long time, has called him a try guy, the try guy. J.D. Prescott, he's a try guy. And it's because he tries and he tries and he tries, but he never accomplishes anything. Okay? So that is a problem that I've had. It's not just that Kendall and Casey have picked to support Braun and Beckwith. It's that they've chose to support Braun and Beckwith, and then they also immediately take on all of the in-laws and outlaws and all of the trappings that go with that. And it's like, no. Slow your roll on that. And then the other thing is, it's not like he comes out with an actual legitimate reason. He comes out and he says it's because he wants a seat at the table. A seat at the table? This is all about getting a seat at the table? So that's like me saying, I'm holding the commissioners in Delaware County accountable until James King makes me the communications director for the Delaware County, and I do all their video and their I podcast for them, and they pay me $90,000 a year. Then I don't have a care in the world what they do. To hell with that. You think I would take that job? Are you kidding me? If Dan Ridenour came to me and said, "Hey, we're gonna put Amber Green in HR. We're gonna move Amber to HR because we're firing the HR director because she's a lunatic, and we want to put you in the communications spot." Okay. And so I do not understand that thinking. I would never do that because I have a massive problem with the way that Ridenour runs things. And Kendall has called Braun out for years and years and years. But now because he has a buddy that's, a heartbeat away, everything's okay. And all right, Adam here says, I don't fully get this logic, at least not as far as Prescott example. Braun administration has been pushing a particular property tax plan. J.D. Prescott has been pushing his own plan that's completely different. Okay. And so here's the thing. It doesn't make sense. And I've been talking about this since before any of this stuff hit the paper, any of this stuff came out. We started talking about this early into the fall swing of the 2024 election cycle. Matter of fact, I have a video out where Representative Corey Criswell goes to, in District 54, goes to Henry County and tells all the local officials there, we're not going to be, we will not be passing Braun's property tax plan. It's a nightmare. They asked him what the worst case scenario was. And in his worst case scenario, he says Braun's property tax plan is the worst case scenario. Okay. And it's ridiculous. That's exactly right, Jack. It is never ending. And so you've got this radio station who has been pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to end property tax. And now you've got a governor in there that has been pushing this plan, which is, obviously better than what we have, but it still has a lot of holes in it, and it's not getting rid of the property tax plan. Now you've got various other plans within the state government. They keep talking about the fact that they've got this mandate. Well, if you've got a mandate, then why are you all not working together? Because the Republicans hold the governor's office, the Republicans have the state house, and the Republicans have the state senate. So why are they not coming up with one plan that they can push and that they will do? Because they're not really invested in taking care of the problem. And we're going to hear some clips of Kendall and Casey here in a little bit, where Rob even admits this. But the biggest issue I have is the fact that it seems as if the selling out has commenced. And back during the fall, back during the election, I asked many times, is Rob selling out? Are we seeing Rob selling out? And, he would say, no, it doesn't matter that I like Beckwith. I'm going to still be tough on him. I'm still going to be questioning him, Well, then today, ladies and gentlemen, just about an hour before the inauguration was 11 a.m. today, meaning when you're watching this to repeat, we are broadcasting live on Monday, January 13th. The inauguration occurred at 11 a.m. Monday, January 13th, 2025. And I tuned in to the Kendall and Casey program. I about half expected Rob to have a fill-in host because I kind of figured that he would be there. But he wasn't. He was on the program today. And when I tuned in, I heard some extremely, really strange things. No. Here's Adam. Did you hear today's program? Wait till we hear this. So let's listen to this. Let's listen to this and find out what I'm talking about here exactly. Okay. So here is the Kendall and Casey. Okay. All right. So stand by here because we're getting ready to lay out here my concerns. So here's the Kendall and Casey program. Kendall and Casey is live on 93.1 WIBC Monday through Friday from 9 until noon. 9 until 11. No, yeah, 9 until noon. Tony starts at 12:06. So they're from 9 until noon. So this program that you're going to hear, this bit starts about 23 minutes into the program. 23 minutes into this show. It's actually going to be longer, and this is going to be about an hour into the program here, I think. So listen to what's said here.
And embarrass himself. So yeah, he'll have some job where.
Okay, right now they're talking about Holcomb, and they're talking about Holcomb, and then they're going to equate this to Braun as well. So let's listen to this.
Where he doesn't actually have to produce anything, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that.
It's very much like when he was governor.
Yeah,
it's some job where he didn't have to produce anything.
Okay, so Braun and Beckwith are getting sworn in a little bit. We're going to send Carl over there. It was kind of rude of them to do that during our show.
You
but,
think so? They should have scheduled that more appropriately.
But well, I mean, they look, if there's people that they owe being where they're at, it's us, right? I mean, we delivered. But
now listen, I play that part because I think that's funny. If there's anyone that they owe being where they're at, it's Rob and Casey. And listen, everybody knows I act bigger than I am and talk a big game, and it's part of the joke and whatnot. And that's what Rob does. He's kind of taking the piss there a little bit. But I also believe somewhere in his mind he believes that a little bit. I believe that it is there. So I think it's just funny to hear, how much he puts Braun's win on his back. So I think that's interesting. So I wanted you to hear that, but listen to some of the banter of what they talk about here over the next just couple of minutes.
We got to go to the big thing.
You keep calling it the Braun Ball.
The Braun Ball, right? Yes, the Braun Ball. We got to go to the Braun Ball.
Yeah.
And we were in the front row.
We were. It was weird because we walked in the big room and there were over 200 tables.
Yeah.
And I had told you, boy, I think we're probably going to be like in a back corner, which is fine.
Right.
And then when we got there and they said, no, you're at table number 4.
Yes.
And there were over 200 tables. Okay. Right in the front, right next to Mike Braun and his family.
Yeah, I started trying to scalp my tickets, and I was told you can't sell your.
Now
seats,
listen,
buddy.
she's
like,
acting like.
So it's a front row.
Well, I thought we would be in the back somewhere, but no, we were right up front in the front row, right next to Braun and his family. Wait till you hear why.
It's a front row ticket, so
yeah.
Now they did have. This is what I want to ask you. They did have an open bar. Like there's this line, there's just like, it's at the Marriott. So it's obviously a real fancy, schwanky sort of place.
It looked like a really nice wedding. I mean, there were floral centerpieces and everything was nice.
So it's at the Marriott, and there's these open bar lines, and they're making like whatever you want them to make. And I thought you had to pay for it. And then I find out they're like, no, it's already taken care of.
Really?
So I started figuring in my head what the bar tab ended up being.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, there was 2,000 people there.
Were there 2,000? All right. So let's say 1,500 of them drank. And by the way, the reason I went was to make sure that Micah didn't drink and embarrass himself. And I was pleased to report I was very successful.
Easy job.
He drank 0 while I was there. So see, that's why people like me are around. All right. So 1,500 people. Let's say there were an average of 2 drinks each. Okay. 2. So that 1,500 times 2 is, what is it? That's 3,000, right? Times 2, 3,000. What do you think at a Marriott, a JW Marriott? What are they charging? $10 a drink?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe more, but let's just
average it out. $10
times 10.
We'll get through the alcohol. They keep going over the alcohol thing, which is
about the wine.
That's fine. The wine. There's wine. There's alcohol.
Fresh out of college. Some of them in college, and his eyes just like dart up at me. And okay, here we go. And he goes, "You're the radio guy." I said, "Maybe." He goes, "Oh man, I love your show."
Yes, I am the radio guy.
Well, you should probably not say that too loud around here because you'll not be working in this organization for very long. He was very nice. But what I was noticing, and I am the only person who notices these sorts of things, is they have the big signs, right? Like this Republican schwanky function brought to you by the following people who want favors. And, it's this long list of things.
Who want favors?
He's here. I'm sure based on how the rules are written, that this is all perfectly legal, but don't you see how that works? Like you as a taxpayer subsidize a mega corporation to come to our state. So your money is taken to subsidize this. And then,
Google, he's talking about Google.
Google, who, by the way, on all the years I was going to Republican functions, I never saw Google on any banners. Now, all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, Casey, Google's all in with the Indiana Republican Party.
I wonder if Google paid for that $50,000 bar
Well, I'm sure
tab.
they paid part of it. And again, nothing nefarious. I'm not insinuating anything illegal. These are how the rules are written. This is how it works. But I'm telling you, this is how the whole thing works. Like they get subsidies, they get incentives, they get bonuses, they get whatever you want to call them. And then all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, I mean, we saw this, one of those dinners recently where, hey, now the teachers union is sponsoring the Indiana Republican Party, right?
Which seemed really odd.
Yes,
out of place.
It all does seem odd.
But they don't care. Money's money, right?
Okay. So
there we go.
You want to talk about the big day? I mean, today's the swearing in day. We can take a break and then we can get into some of that because now we don't have to be nice to any of these people anymore.
Yeah, we'll do that. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 W.
Now they don't have to be nice to some of these people. Now, my question is it going to be Braun and Beckwith that they're going to also continue to hold their feet to the fire? Or you know, are they not going to be included in that? And when we jump here to 52 minutes into the feed, let's find out here what we've got going on here. Here it is.
All right, big news for Casey and to some extent for this show. And Casey hates to talk about her personal life, so I'm going to make her as uncomfortable as I possibly can.
Yeah,
and make her talk about her personal life.
Well, it's not even so much me that we're talking about; it is the dude.
Yeah,
Jim,
your husband,
Jim. We're going to be talking about now. So, you know, Jim and I, we've been
right?
married, what, 27 years?
I don't know.
Now?
How long have you been married? I wasn't there.
1997 is when we got married, and we met at a radio station in Lansing.
Can I just say,
what?
You need to bring this in at some point.
Listen to this. This is so gross.
Wedding photos of all time.
Oh my gosh!
It's
not
just
this.
Everything 1990s. I love that photo. Yeah. I want one for my office actually.
Just what? So you can point and laugh.
I love
to
it.
Make you smile.
Oh, anyway, so go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I went up to go on an interview once in Lansing, and it was a Saturday, and this guy opened the door, and I thought to myself, well, he's really cute. I hope I get this job because I'd like to get to know that guy. And it was Jim.
It was basically like
her husband
novel story.
Yeah,
it was her husband.
Was like, you know, love at first sight.
You asked him to show you the board and the control room, and one thing led to another, and then now you've been married 28 years.
Right. And then, you know, a few years after we were dating in Lansing, I got a job in South Bend, and a few weeks later, he followed me to South Bend, and we ended up getting married in South Bend at St. Pius Catholic Church.
How exciting.
There. And, you know, we had our daughter, and both Jim and I moved a lot when we were young, and we said we didn't want to do that to our daughter. We didn't want to move her around a lot. We wanted her to have schooling all with the same friends throughout her upbringing. And so we managed to be in South Bend for 25 years. And through that time, both of our careers grew. And Jim, you know, was president of Schurz Communications, which is WSBT in radio in South Bend, and he was named as one of the top 50 general managers in radio by Radio Inc. magazine. But he also did a few other things, like he sat on the St. Joseph County Chamber of Commerce, and he was one of those 40 under 40 people.
Why does anybody
you know,
care about
make
this?
A great achievement.
What's this got to do with anything?
He was in the same class as Pete Buttigieg.
It's one of my great disappointments.
We're not going to hold that
life.
against
I never
him.
made a 40 under 40. Probably like one of those things because of my politics. But anyway, go on, Casey.
But he was also the president of the Mishawaka Business Association. He was a board member for the Studebaker National Museum.
We don't need his resume. He's a great guy. Just tell us the news.
Graduated from NAB's broadcast leadership training, and he was also on the board of directors for the Indiana Broadcasters Association. I tell you all of these things so that you'll know he is completely qualified for this job that he is now taking. And here it is. The dude, Jim, my husband, is going to be the director of communications for Micah Beckwith.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And today is his first day. He's starting at the State House, and I'm so proud of him. And I know
what? So her husband is now going to be the communications director for Micah Beckwith. And, you know, look, she wonders why on Saturday night that she wasn't setting somewhere in the back of the room. Like she thought when they walked in, they were going to be sitting back in by the bathrooms. No way in hell were they going to park them in the back of the room. Well, no wonder they're going to be sitting up there with Beckwith and Braun, because her husband is the communications director for Micah Beckwith. Now we're going to hear Rob talk about the kind of the joke that went on for a little bit that Beckwith asked him. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it was a joke. I think Beckwith said, hey, if Rob would have wanted that job, the job would have been Rob's. If Rob would have wanted it, it would have been his. But I think Rob probably had the foresight to think, no, I can do more for you. I can do more for you on the radio here. Now, listen to the other thing that they say here in a minute. Listen to what Kendall says about being a homer here in a minute. Listen to that. Okay.
That he is going to help Micah craft all of his communications to Hoosiers across the state.
Yes.
And help make great change and do wonderful things for everyone.
So we wanted to put that out. First of all, we, unlike what was the, like some of these shows, we want to be totally transparent with you about what's going on. And
unlike some of these shows, what other shows out there have been such water carriers for Micah and for Braun? There is no other show out there that has been more of a water carrier for Braun and for Beckwith. Who's he referring to?
And we wanted you to know that at all times when we talk to Micah or whatever, we don't ever want to keep you in the dark on anything. Also, Jim has done such a great job filling.
Listen, this isn't something that just popped up like this morning either, right? It's something that's been in the works for a while. And I'm going to tell you, if you go back to any of my older episodes throughout the through 2024, anytime that they had the candidates in, she was pushing. I said multiple times, she pushed Braun and Beckwith almost harder than Rob did. She was far in the bag for them way sooner than Rob officially announced. And so I just think that's interesting too. Now I'm off screen just for a second. I'll get back and get your comments here in a minute, and I'll look and I'll go down through this, but I want to just finish this up here.
For you,
for me,
yeah.
And we wanted
he won't be able to do that now.
No, why you won't hear him anymore. And so what had happened is we had some fun for when Micah was first elected after he and Braun won about whether I was going to leave and go with him. And I told you people,
right,
I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. And I told Micah I'm not leaving or going anywhere, but I know someone who would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim is that person. And I'm so pleased it's worked out. And he's going to do a great job with that.
Yeah. He actually last night he was helping Micah craft his inaugural speech that he'll be giving today. So
if it sucks, it's all Jim's fault.
Well, that's true. Or if it's fantastic, it's to his credit. So yesterday he went over to the State House because a lot of them were just kind of checking in, looking around, seeing where their offices were going to be. And he sent me a text and he said, "How did we get here?" And I said, "I brought you here."
That's right. You owe your whole life to me.
It's your fault.
Well,
Kendall.
That's usually the way it works.
The credit and the blame.
Oh, God.
I've ruined many a relationship over the years, Casey, usually my own, but this time I'm interfering in your business. But we wanted to make sure everybody knew that. We don't want to ever you think we're hiding anything from you. We're very proud of Jim. We're glad he has that. We're glad he has that position, so that way nobody can say, well, they're misleading their audience. Now we're total Micah homers anyway. I don't think anybody was like well, they're really on Micah's side on things. Of course we are.
Right.
Of course we are. Of course
know.
we are. We're homers for Micah. I don't even know what the hell that means. But I guess I'm glad that he's admitting it. I'm happy that that's coming out of his mouth. And I just really, really, I really question. I don't know. I mean, I want to know what has happened. What has happened? And I got to be honest. And I'm not going to go into this much because I don't talk about families and whatnot. Rob talks about this being because of his daughter. It's got nothing to do with that daughter. It's got nothing to do with his daughter. Rob, I don't know. I don't know what the deal was here. He saw this sign, and if they believe that Beckwith is going to do magical things here, I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that the people who are still all on the the Beckwith train, they are going to be disappointed by him. He's not going to pull the weight that they believe that he's going to pull. And it's going to be gaffe after gaffe. There are things that I support him on. And I don't, as we talked last night, I don't like the people that attack him just willy-nilly out of the blue for nonsensical shit. I don't like people that are accusing him of crazy things that he clearly hasn't done. I feel like there's enough there that people can attack him for the things that he will either do or the things that he won't do that he said he would do. He's not going to have nearly as much influence on Braun, I think, as Rob hopes that he will. And I just think that this is going to turn into a major disaster. So I just think that this is very interesting. I want to listen to. We're getting ready to wrap this up here. I just want you to listen to a few more things here.
That Jim will be over there, and now
he'll help.
I don't know who the next fill-in guy is.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Mike Braun has promised to focus on the kitchen table issues like property taxes and the cost of healthcare, also school choice, and I believe Micah will continue on that conversation as well. Okay, so coming up at 10:30. So the inauguration is today at 11. It's actually on the circle around the
112
circle. I feel like Austin Powers there. Allow myself to introduce
myself.
It's around. It's on the circle around the circle
at the Hilbert Circle Theater.
At the Hilbert Circle. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, so what? My property taxes went up $500 this year. Big one, right? They don't want any feathers ruffled. They don't want anything changed. We are awful. Like, they hate us because we threaten the apple cart, right? So for you, a regular person, or if you're a rank and file conservative, you are completely at odds with the ruling class of the Republican Party. The Holcomb people, in Holcomb's mind, because I had a conversation over the weekend with a very, very, and this person shall remain nameless, if it were revealed that I was associating with this person, that they would be tarred and feathered. And I was asking them because they have a connection to Holcomb. Now, this is a person who's done quite well inside of the Republican Party, so I won't reveal this person, but it's almost like Biden now. Now that Holcomb's out and he's of no use to them anymore, people are starting to talk. Mm-hmm. And I said, why did all of these people get behind Holcomb? And this person told me, and this is what they said. They said, Holcomb is genuinely stupid and was too stupid to know what was going on and just did whatever he was told. And where have we heard that, Casey? Yeah. Where have you heard that for the past 8 years? They said Holcomb had no idea what he was doing. Holcomb would do whatever we, the party, the power structure, told him to do. Mm-hmm. He didn't know any better. He didn't know how to push back. He certainly didn't have the intestinal fortitude to push back. And that's why they said, have you seen Holcomb land anywhere? The answer is no. They'll give him something eventually. He's not going to end up in a soup line, but there's nobody clamoring for Holcomb. He's obviously known for 4 years he was done being governor, and yet none of these, he's not being asked to run anything because the person said he's stupid. He said he did whatever he was told, and as a part of that, the mega corporations have done quite well. The special interests,
everything that we've always
have
known
done
about
quite
Holcomb.
well.
He is
has
dumb.
protected
He's
all of the
stupid.
things he was told to protect.
He's been a
at the
horrible
expense of
governor.
You now, where Braun lands, I don't know. And this is what concerns me, because Braun talks a good game. Braun does say all the right things. But when you look at who he has put as these agency heads or these secretaries, it's a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Something else I've been saying from the beginning of the Braun transition is he is putting in place a lot of the same people that Holcomb has had in various positions. And you've still got, and Rob's concerned about this. He's talking about it. But he's still ready to be in bed with the guy solely on the thought and the prayer that Beckwith is going to, supersede him, somehow become something that he's not going to become. I don't understand. You are talking about my second cousin. I told him he had no backbone. He hates Trump. Wait, Donald. Who? You mean obviously, Eric? So sometimes we have people who play on here, but I know that Holcomb's wife is from around here. So, are you like? Is this a fake name, or are you really Donald Holcomb? And that would be hilarious. But so you're saying that if you are really Donald Holcomb, are you saying that Eric has no backbone and hates Trump? Let me see what some of these comments have said. I've seen a post. Micah was one. Yeah, listen. DC Swamp Drainer said, I've seen a post. Micah was wanting help to get more authority, and they're doing everything they can to strip him of that authority. Braun's team, Braun took as much away from Beckwith that I think that he thought he could without causing really a great big hubbub. And then because they didn't take away the agriculture aspect, there's that Senate bill now that's looking to try to strip him of his authority with the agriculture. So, yeah, there's not going to be help getting more authority for Beckwith. And I think that they are misjudging what they're doing. I think that they thought that if they took all of this work away from him, all of this authority, then he wouldn't really have a leg to stand on. He wouldn't be anybody, and he couldn't use that to kind of bolster himself. And I think that they're looking at this wrong. I think that them taking away all of this authority, all of this, basically the responsibility that he had, is going to leave him. What?
Busy work.
Well, yeah. But what they're doing is it's going to make him, it's going to leave him where he has nothing to do. And when you leave Micah Beckwith with nothing to do, I think he's going to come up with things to do. I think that Micah is going to find things. What's the idle hands or the devil's playground? You know what I mean? So when you've got Mr. Beckwith that has really no authority and no responsibility, that will leave him all the time in the world to be taking on all of these national and issues instead of worrying about us Hoosiers here in the state of Indiana. And that's always my biggest problem. I don't like when county parties are more concerned with state and federal elections than they are local elections. I hate when you've got county and city officials that are more concerned with what's going on at the state than they are what's going on in their town or their city or their county. I always hate when you've got state officials that are more concerned with what's going on at the national level than at the state level. And that's what we see with Beckwith a lot. He's one of those kinds of people that he takes on this cause of everything that's going on nationally, and it's like that's not really helping the Hoosiers as much as you think it is. And I appreciate the fact that you have these conservative thoughts and beliefs, but you're in a position now where your job is to be making the lives of Indiana citizens better, and I just don't see him doing much of that. Let's see here. Don Stottle says, I went to high school in Indy. He went to Pike. Most of these Republicans hate Trump. Their lives have been threatened. They don't want to end up like Liz Cheney. Will one thing. Micah will have. Yeah, well, that's exactly true. Brandon Rudd, how can he do anything nationally when they are not letting him even do anything at the state level? Well, yeah, I'm just saying what he's doing there obviously is it's that whole thing that he does where he takes on all these banners. We've seen JD do this where he takes on, this fight from what they hear at the national level and he tries to bring it to the state level, and it's like, dude, just actually do the work that the constituents in your district need. Don't be worrying about taking on these fights that, get other elected officials on TV. That's what it's all about. But yeah, Brandon's saying that he's just saying he's full of it, and that's exactly correct. And it's what's really bad about this is there are a lot of good people that are, I think, hopeful or blinded by the hope that Micah Beckwith is going to do something. It's something magnificent. It's the same thing that Beckwith gets in with J.D. Prescott. Beckwith likes J.D. Prescott not because he knows a damn thing about what he's done as a state representative. Beckwith doesn't know. Beckwith's not in his district. Beckwith doesn't know how JD is looked at in his district. Beckwith doesn't know that the people in JD's district look at him with contempt and disdain and do not like him. Beckwith looks at him as a friend and a brother Christian because they attend the same church or whatever. And so he looks at him as a fellow Christian, which is wonderful. And I love that. And I hope they have a wonderful brotherhood friendship. And I love it. But just because you're a Christian does not mean that you're going to be a good elected official. And I think that Beckwith gets those things confused sometimes. And so then that same thing happens with these good people out here at the grassroots level who like Beckwith, that believe just because Beckwith talks a good game and Beckwith is a Christian, that it means he's going to accomplish all this wonderful stuff. And I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to be given that ability. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I love how he sucks up. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, Brandon. And that's wild, because everything that Beckwith posts, anything that you've seen Beckwith post over the last year, if you read all the little meme stuff that he posts, if you apply that to J.D. Prescott, it's like J.D. Prescott does not believe this value. This value goes totally against anything and everything that Prescott has ever done. Oh, this meme here, it totally, if you put it in the same lineup as J.D. Prescott does not fit half of that shit. but yet then when you call Beckwith out about it, he's like, well, he's a really good person, and I've got to honor him because JD isn't like the micro thinker. He's like the guys that landed on D-Day and made it up the hill. And it's like, no, I think that is not exactly correct. And so I think that is nuts. Let's see here, man. That blue writing is nuts. I just saw that in the I wonder if there's a way for us to turn that down. In the private chat. That was funky. So that's just a little concern I have, and I'll be honest. This news that I heard today with Casey, it really shakes my opinion, and I really hate to say it, but the way that I feel that Rob and Casey have behaved through this election has really changed my opinion. And look, it's fine if they've got this new path that they're on. I don't want anybody to be misled and think that they are on the path today that Rob has been on at any point in the last 10 years. It's not the same path. There has been a fork in the road. And look, people change. I get it. I understand that. But Rob is not the same person, calling out corruption and speaking truth to power. He's not that same person today that he was before this 2024 election started. And, that sucks. And you know what I think will happen? I think that he will be burnt by it, and you know what? Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Beckwith will turn out to be the best lieutenant governor we've ever had. Maybe Braun will turn out to be the best governor we've ever had. I don't think so. I think that Braun will be Holcomb negative 2.0. I think he'll be everything wrong with Holcomb plus more. And when that happens, and when Rob is burnt by this, Rob will come back. But by that time, it's like you can't go home. You can, everybody, you can always go home, but it's never the same. You know what I mean? Let me see here what Kate said. I do not understand how they can expect people to believe that they will hold the government accountable when her husband is making $100,000 being Micah's mouthpiece. That's the thing. That's the other thing. Absolutely. When that's just common sense, folks. When someone's job and this paycheck is dependent upon Micah having that position or a position that or higher, there's not going to be much. You're not going to shake the boat. You know what I mean? You're not going to make waves. And the job is at Micah's pleasure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The Republican Party is going full MAGA. Trump has shown them that lying and cheating is profitable. I try to tell my fellow Republicans that they have been fleeced and they're too stupid to know it. This is such a weird weird way to work and meander through all of this, because I'm hopeful of what happens over the next 4 years. I just don't believe that Braun is going to bring any major changes, any major goodness to the lives of Hoosiers. Now, I've been wrong the other way. I've supported people who have turned out to be absolute turds. Look at Dan Ridenour, mayor of Muncie. Random other people. I was supportive of Sean Byram, the mayor of Muncie, the mayor of Winchester, when Sean first ran. I helped J.D. Prescott on his first campaign. I was on J.D. Prescott's campaign. Now, I famously told J.D. On more than one occasion, but specifically one time where we talked about it and like laughed about it, that it wouldn't be long before, after he won, that I would be calling him out on things, and that one day I would be working to get him unelected. Like, I told him that. And so it actually took less time than I thought it would. I was hoping that, maybe he would at least be okay for a while, but no, that didn't work. So I've been wrong in that way. And that sucks when you support somebody and you want them to do well and they don't do well, and it's a shitty situation. That sucks. I would really like to be wrong about this. I would be fine being wrong about this. If I think that Braun is going to be horrible and Beckwith is going to be horrible, and it turns out that I am wrong and they do all this wonderful stuff, all right, I'll come back and I will eat all of my words, and I will wonderfully, gratefully, and happily eat that crow. I just don't think it's going to happen. No. What? You're a JD fanboy? No, not anymore. That's long gone. Alva. Oh, God. I think Braun will be bad and blame Micah. What he'll do is he won't get things done the way that he wants, and then any of the nonsense that happens and or when he takes a loss, it'll all be, yeah, I definitely see that happening. And that's the one good thing with having Beckwith there, is he'll have Beckwith to blame shit for. So that'll be interesting. And the other thing is the state house. All of the establishment Republicans in the Indiana General Assembly, the state representatives and the state senators, they're all the same people. There's not been a big change there. They're not going to do anything. This legislative session is going to be a joke. The majority of what they focus on is going to be the budget. They're going to be focusing on the budget. And then we're going to see a lot of this nonsense where now, I don't know if Adam is still here or not. I think maybe he bowed out, but Adam sent a thing out about supporting a couple bills, and we need to have Brandon on here soon. But I was really interested in this thing that Adam sent. Adam was talking about having support, getting support for a couple Senate bills, Senate Bill 200 and Senate Bill 201. And I am all for Senate Bill 200, which is eliminating straight party voting. I'm all for that. Let me go in here and get it pulled up. this up so you guys can see it. Clicky on here. Did you do that? Ha! That's crazy. We got that at the same time. All right, Senate Bill 200, straight ticket voting, authored by Senator Mike Gaskell. He's from the Madison County area. And it removes voters' option to vote for all candidates of a political party or an independent ticket at one time, straight ticket voting, in a general or municipal election, repeals, supersedes statutes relating to straight ticket voting, increases the amount of time that a voter may remain in the voting booth at a general, municipal, or special election from 4 minutes to 7 minutes. Now, I don't understand this. I hear you down there, Jack. I'm going to try to get one this week. We'll see how that goes a few weeks later. I'm all for everything that says here, except I have no clue what this nonsense at the bottom says. Talks about this time limit in the booth. I've never had someone told me that I only have 4 minutes in the booth. That's insane. That's crazy. But I'm in favor of removing the straight party. We need to get rid of this. That way everybody can go down and select each individual person that they want to vote for, leave it blank, do whatever you want to do. But I'm all for it. Okay? Now, Senate bill, let me pull this one up here because I got this one here. No, you're fine. All right, so Senate bill 201, however, I am a little concerned with, and I don't get this. Mike Gaskell also put this bill forward. Senate Bill 201 says allows an individual to affiliate with a political party while registering to vote. Requires the text, would you like to choose your political party? If you wish to vote in a primary election, you must first choose your political party affiliation, and you may only vote that party's ballot in the primary election. And a blank space for the applicant to list a party affiliation to be included on a voter registration form. Provides that a voter may only vote at a primary election if the voter has affiliated with a political party not later than 119 days before the date of the primary election. It requires a voter to vote at the primary election held by the political party with which the voter is affiliated. Provides an exception to allow an individual who, 1, has moved to Indiana later than 119 days before the date of the primary election from another state, and 2, is 17 years of age but will be at least 18 years of age on the day of the next general election, municipal, or special election, to register to vote and affiliate with a political party later than 119 days before the primary election or vote in a primary election. Allows a voter to change party affiliation less than 119 days before the primary election and vote in the primary election if the voter has moved to a new election district less than 119 days before the primary election and the voter transfers the voter's registration record. Requires a county voter registration office to automatically affiliate certain voters with a political party and to allow all voters to affiliate or change political party affiliation. Allows a voter to affiliate with a political party when transferring the voter registration record. Requires a voter who casts a provisional ballot to make an affidavit identifying the voter's political party affiliation. I am not in favor of this one bit. I do not like this. I'm not in favor of this. I do not like this. And I don't like this because if I just don't. First of all, if they want to get to the point where the political parties are, controlling this much, then it needs to not be paid for by the taxpayers. They can go off in their own little direction and do whatever the hell they want to do. Okay. But this is not a bill this is nonsense. This is absolutely nonsensical. So I'm not in favor of this. Let's see what's happened with it. Actions. First reading. Been referred to Committee on Elections. Okay. Let's go back and see the other one. See what happened with that one. I'm sure the same thing. Yeah. It's there. So, well, let's do this. What is Kate? Let's do this. All right, let's figure out which one of his bills. Okay, 1231. Let's see what the actions are here. Okay, nothing more. What is this? His marijuana advertising thing is he's just co-authored it. He's an idiot. Okay. All right. So the only thing that he signed on to that closed primaries. That's so stupid. He's so stupid. School board elections. This is interesting. That he's got a hard on for this. Oh, here's his designation of the state nickname. See what's happened here. Nothing will happen with that. That's nonsensical. So okay, well that's my look at what's going on there. I don't understand Senate Bill 201. I'm not supportive of Senate Bill 201. I will not be supporting Senate Bill 201, and I hope that I hope that they hope that one dies quickly. So, hey, lastly, I want to talk about this just briefly. I made this connection by a couple of wonderful sources out there, that folks who a couple people that I've never heard from before. And then one person who has been a really good source in the past sent me some information to kind of help get this one started. I want to show you some things that I'm going to be looking at, and we're going to be obviously looking into here over the next couple of days. And yes, and okay. So obviously tonight's episode has really just been taking a look at what's going on with the inauguration today and this deal with Kendall and Casey. I'm sure I've shot myself in the foot for appearing on 93.1 anytime soon, which, listen, unless it's to debate what's going on with Braun and Beckwith or JD Prescott, I don't know that I have any will to go down there and be a part of bootlicking for the Braun administration. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But the I just hate that it's gone this way, and I know that I don't know. I mean, I know that people can change and people do what they want to do, but it's just very depressing when that happens. But to wrap up, I just want to show you this because I've also been working on this today, and this is a big deal. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm going to get this to Stephen Brand and get him all the information I've got on this. This will be something I will be looking at here over the next couple of days. Does everybody remember back when... Does everybody remember back on January 6th when Brand went into the Delaware County Commissioners meeting, and during the meeting, one of the first things that he did, what you're looking at here is the agenda. I know it's very small and you can't see it, but I'll tell you about it. There's a picture of Brand, and then there's this highlighted section. And what this highlighted section is that's the presentations. It's under the presentations part of the agenda. And it says absolute title for deed sales services, Stephen Brand. Does everybody remember when he brought that up? He said he wanted to talk about why Delaware County was going through absolute title out of Madison County. And he said that, when he had Googled, we had 5 or 6 title companies here in Muncie and Delaware County, and he would prefer to go through one of them, and he just wanted to know. And Ed came up with this great big, long, drawn-out excuse. Well, it's because, they don't charge, and this other place does this, and that other place is up on McGalliard, and, what he didn't say was what I'm getting ready to tell you, which I think is very crazy. So let me see here. What he did not tell us was that absolute title, who is right here, you can see their logo here, is absolute title is connected to this woman, Sunshine Browning. Okay, Sunshine Browning. And for those of you that might not know who Sunshine Browning is, it says, okay, so let's go through this. This is from the Indiana Secretary of State's office. Complete Title Services of Southern Indiana, LLC. And then it's got an Anderson address. You can go through here and see where they've changed the name. Okay. And the governing person is Sunshine Browning. Okay. All of this stuff here. Sunshine Browning is here on Facebook. Okay. Look at this. This says Chad Malacote is with Sunshine Browning. Happy big 39th to the best little sister out there. Love you, sis. So just in case I've not made it clear, Sunshine Browning is the sister. Yep. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Absolutely. Chad's sister owns that title company. And Chad is the Henry County councilor. He just won election to the council down there. He had been a Henry County councilor. Then in 2019, he did no, not 2019. In 20, I guess it was either in 2020 or it would have been 2020. He did not run for re-election, and then so he lost, and then he ran for election last year, and so he's now a sitting county councilor in Henry County. He is a partner with Ed, the auditor, Ed Carroll, up here in Delaware County, and he is connected to Ed. They have a business together where they do some very questionable things. And then it's funny that his sister runs a title company that obviously Delaware County goes through. But then I'm sure that there are some things that Ed and Chad run through in their own way when they're doing their behind the scenes business. So I'm going to be looking into all of this. I think that's just another part of the puzzle that I think is very interesting. And I am very thankful to the people who brought this to me because this was a very good catch. I did not know that. So we'll be looking into that. Oh, yeah. Carol is definitely a scammer. Yeah. And I don't know. Kate said, isn't Chad one of Ed's favorite little employees? So Ed has two bestest friends, and one is Charlie Rich, who's the guy that gets paid like $25 or $30 an hour to work from Texas. And then Chad Malacote is another guy who has been in his office in the past, who's been, I guess, I don't know what he's been doing, working on grants, working on, I don't know what he's been doing in the office, but Ed acts like he has to have him. So this is a little thing that just popped into the picture today that I'm working on. So I wanted to put that out there for people's information. And if you know anything, please get back to me. Hey, the very last thing that I want to say, there is another really big, deep investigation that I am going into right now. And I don't have anything to put up about this or whatever. But it's concerning Anna Quirk, the Delaware County Democrat Party chairwoman. There's been some rumor that in this upcoming party chair election that Nora Powell is going to try to go out and kick her out of the seat, and Nora wants to be the party chair, the Democrat Party chairwoman. I think that would be interesting. I don't know how true it is. I've just heard it from a couple sources. But there is definitely some high weirdness going on with Anna Quirk. And I'm putting this out there to all of you. If there's someone out there that has information on Anna, however big or small it is, get it to me and I will keep you anonymous, keep people anonymous. But I'm starting to dig on Anna because I'm hearing some weird things, and I'm trying to put it all together. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being able to tolerate Jack in the comments. Thank you for being able to tolerate this hair. I will hopefully get a haircut. I'll let you guys know. Tomorrow is a Madison County Council meeting at 6 p.m. So we will be watching that. The breakdown tomorrow night at 9 will be about the meeting. Oh, also, the officer, the Anderson officer that was arrested and charged with the sexual shit against those school kids, he is now fighting his termination. So there will be something going on with that, but it won't be for a while. So I just wanted to keep you guys posted. So stay tuned to that. Tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the Madison County meeting. And then right here at 9 p.m. for the rest of it. You guys take care. God bless. Have a great night. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.